Look at the San Gabriel Valley. The sweeping greenery stretching out beneath the mountains is a massive part of local curb appeal. A mature property canopy provides shade, character, and serious real estate value. But our weather demands a steep toll for that greenery. We endure a whiplash climate cycle. Searing, bone-dry droughts bake the soil for months, followed immediately by sudden, intense downpours that saturate the ground. This animated cross-section of a tree trunk reveals what environmental whiplash actually does. Extreme stress weakens deep root systems, leaving the tree vulnerable to fungal infections. Over time, fungus spreads, hollowing out the inner core, while the outside looks perfectly normal. You end up with a terrifying structural reality. That majestic greenery shading your driveway has quietly turned into a hollow, fragile shell, suspending thousands of pounds of decaying timber directly above your roof. That hidden decay becomes an immediate crisis every autumn. That is when the Santa Ana winds sweep down from the mountains, bringing high-velocity gusts right into the valley. A 60-foot eucalyptus looks immovable on a calm Tuesday, but when those dry winds hit, the brittle, hollowed-out branches twist under massive aerodynamic drag. Heavy trunks split, weakened limbs snap without warning. The standard reaction for many homeowners is to buy a chainsaw at a big box store and spend a Saturday afternoon trying to cut down the problem themselves. Treating arboriculture like a weekend yard chore underestimates the lethal physics of gravity. A single mistake with a massive branch can flatten a garage, crush a neighbor's roof, or take out a power line. Amateur DIY removals actively endanger the surrounding area. Losing control of tons of falling wood creates a physical hazard that threatens neighbors' properties, local power grids, and lives in the impact zone. The sheer kinetic energy generated by a falling tree is massive. When you introduce a chainsaw to timber under pressure, you are violently altering load-bearing dynamics in real time. This vector schematic shows a heavy branch under tension. Notice what happens when a cut is made at the wrong stress point. The wood fiber fails unevenly, and the remaining limb violently snaps back along that red trajectory line. Professionals understand these mechanical twists. Amateurs end up in the emergency room. Then there is the electrical threat. Working anywhere near power lines is lethal. High-voltage electricity can arc, meaning it literally jumps through the air, from the line directly to your uninsulated tools, or through the moisture in the tree itself. Even if the tree stays upright, a dead tree left on a property presents a severe environmental threat. During our inevitable dry heat waves, standing deadwood acts as highly combustible kindling right in your backyard. This is the harsh reality of ignoring defensible space during fire season. A single ember catching in the dry rot of a neglected pine can turn an individual property hazard into a neighborhood-wide catastrophe. The mechanical failures, the electrical arcs, the fire risk, they all prove the same point. Leaving dead timber standing or trying to hack it down yourself guarantees a physical disaster. But the dangers aren't purely physical. There is a hidden labyrinth of municipal bureaucracy tied to tree removal, and ignoring it carries severe legal liabilities. You cannot simply chop down anything on your lot. Cities across the San Gabriel Valley, like West Covina, have strict municipal codes designed to preserve specific heritage species. Trees like the Southern California black walnut or the California live oak shown here are legally protected. Deciding to fire up a chainsaw on a protected species without city authorization triggers immediate consequences. Municipal code enforcement issues citations that frequently run into the thousands of dollars. Even if you avoid fines, you cannot avoid the real estate market. A decaying canopy or a yard littered with rotting stumps tanks your property value. To a potential buyer, a dead tree hanging over the driveway is a glaring red flag. It signals that if the visible exterior is neglected, there is likely hidden, deferred maintenance rotting away inside the house too. Between the brutal municipal citations and the drop in buyer appeal, ignoring your failing canopy is a dual-threat liability guaranteed to drain your bank account. Resolving these physical and financial threats requires abandoning the DIY mindset. Certified arborists approach a tree as a complex structure to be dismantled, following a systematic engineering plan. This schematic illustrates the chunking down method. Using cranes and complex pulley systems, arborists isolate heavy timber, cut it, and lower it securely, ensuring zero impact below. Below ground, specialized machinery obliterates the remaining stump to prevent termite infestations, meticulously bypassing your underground irrigation lines. It is a precise, calculated operation. Professional tree care applies the principles of high-stakes structural engineering to the living canopy. A true professional acts as a diagnostician first. Before they bring out the heavy machinery, a certified arborist will inspect the structure to see if a heavy trim or a cabling system could save the tree, rather than clear-cutting it entirely. If removal is necessary, timing is everything. A homeowner's instinct is to delay the expense, but physics punishes procrastination. A stable dead tree can be safely rigged and lowered. Once the wood rots and the bark crumbles apart under stress, it loses structural integrity. You cannot safely rig a crumbling tree. Weeding forces crews to use more complex, dangerous methods to bring it down. That multiplied danger directly translates to a multiplied price tag for the removal operation. Hiring a professional tree service acts as a preemptive strike. It secures the home's legal standing, its financial value, and physical survival before the next major windstorm arrives.